Friends, it's Lacey from Pandemonium Publishing House, and I'm here with you today to talk live with Lacey. That's me, and I'm going to answer some of the questions that have come in this week about publishing. So we will get started. I will refer to my screen here if you want to send us an email to ask any question that you have about publishing. Our email is pandapublishing8@gmail.com, and I'm happy to answer those questions for you. Okay, so today is Thursday, February the something, it might be the 6th, and I hope that your week is going well so far. So someone asked the question, what do you think of bonus content like hidden objects and Easter eggs inside of books? We have always tried to do this with our kids' books, and since the beginning of starting this company, I decided that Easter were so fun and kids absolutely love them, that we were going to put them in as many books as possible. And when I was a kid, well, maybe a little bit older than a kid, but my brother used to read the Arthur series of books. And I remember reading those to him and looking for the different names that the illustrator had put in on like the sides of cereal boxes and hidden within the artwork. And I swore to myself that one day I was going to do that. So that's what we did with Panda the Very Bad Cat. We actually announced the second book in Panda the Very Bad Cat in the first book. So there's a page where he's crawling up this bookcase and a sheet of paper falls out and it says on the sheet of paper, Panda 2 coming soon. So that's considered an Easter egg, like an announcement or something that's hidden that kind of like reveals something that's maybe not out yet. The difference between that and interactive elements, let's talk about kids' books for a second, are find the hidden bee on every page. Can you find all 13 bees? Stuff like that. So stuff that makes it interactive for the kids, stuff that makes it kind of interesting and ready to kind of play along and look for things in the book that maybe they didn't see the first time around. So those are the interactive elements. Things like discussion questions at the back of the book, things like design your own character, coloring pages, that sort of stuff. So those are the interactive elements. The Easter eggs announce something, and then a bonus content. So bonus content is stuff like you can download these additional teaching resources or lesson plans or, whatever you have to kind of accompany the book. We call them classroom companions, and you can find them on our website. Whatever accompanies the book is kind of bonus content or bonus material. Maybe you can go to the website and download some extra special templates to make bookmarks or something like that. So that's the difference between bonus content, hidden Easter eggs, and interactive elements. And I love all of those things. We try to do that in all of our kids' books, especially because it just makes it way more fun. And it's a great place to do that, and kids really appreciate it. And we get a ton of excellent feedback from teachers and from kids and from parents who are just saying, you know what, this allows us to kind of continue the discussion long after we close the book, which is exactly what we want. So that's awesome. Okay, next question. How do you feel about combining book launches with unrelated fun themes? Oh, okay. How do you feel about combining book launches with unrelated fun themes like a murder mystery dinner for a thriller? Okay, I love this question. I think that that's fabulous. I love that idea. We actually did something really out of the box. So Tamara Botting wrote the kids' book called Pants. And it's a great book that talks about emotions and how kids wear like all these different types of pants during the day, like ants in your pants and silly pants and crazy pants, angry pants, pants on fire, all that kind of stuff. So what I did was I reached out to Fabricland and I said, you know what, we have an author who has written a book all about pants, and I was wondering if we could have our book launch for her at your store. So we had a book launch for Tamara's book, Pants, at Fabricland. And it was so fun. The kids got to make pairs of pants. Like, Tamara went above and beyond for this. She made all these little templates of little pants that the kids could take home with them. And they were stuffed and they were like, a couple of inches big. but it was such a great idea, and the people at Fabricland loved it because what a great way to cross-promote businesses, right? So people are coming in as traffic for us who are shopping for fabric. Maybe they brought their kids with them. They're going to stop by. They're going to meet the author, maybe do some activities, make a pair of pants to take home with them. And then also the people who were coming to the book launch, maybe they're going to look at some fabric. So cross-promotional opportunities are always great. And I love thinking outside of the box as far as possible for things that are complementary for book launches. So like places that you wouldn't expect. But I absolutely love murder mystery dinner for a thriller. I think that's so cool. There are so many different ways to market books, and I think the more creative you can get, the better. It just adds to the fun, gives people something to talk about, and it allows you to kind of step outside your comfort zone too and really kind of think, where can I place this book in the market? Where could I potentially find new customers? And how is this going to work? So putting it all together is part of the fun too. Okay, the next question. I will just say if you have any questions for me, put them in the comments. And if you want to send me an email, pandapublishing8@gmail.com, and I will happily respond to all of your publishing questions. Nothing's off the table, so go ahead and ask. How is Pandemonium Publishing House socially responsible? I love this question. I love it. It is so important to be socially responsible in whatever industry you're in. Specifically publishing, because we do use a lot of resources, obviously trees, and we want to make sure that we're putting back those resources that we use, at the very least putting them back. So our paperbacks are what we print, okay? A lot of the novels are recycled paper. So if you get those cream colored pages, that's recycled paper and is recyclable. So we use those. We also print on demand. So we don't have books just kind of like sitting around, not doing anything, gathering space, being thrown out, getting damaged, all of that kind of stuff. So we really are cognizant of how many books we're printing and how many we are bringing into the market. We have a great inventory system that just kind of allows us to figure out how many books we need, different calculations, formulas, math, to figure out where we're going, kind of what the traffic looks like, and how many books we should order, so that we don't have a ton of overstock, because you don't want to have to store all that stuff too, right? And then the shipping and, all of those things that come along with that. So another thing that we do is at the end of the year, we add up all of the books that we print, and we take that number and we donate the amount of dollars to places like Trees Canada and different environmental protection agencies, animal adoptions, that kind of thing, for like the rainforest. But we usually spend our money back at home. So in Canada, we will donate that. Back to Trees Canada, for example. That's one of the organizations that we've donated to. But every single year we add all that up. This is what we used. This is what we're going to replace. Because it's about longevity. It's about being socially responsible. It's about, leaving the world a better place and not taking from it without replacing, at the very least, what you're using. So that's a great question. How is Pandemonium Publishing House responsible socially? And that's how we do one of the things. Would you consider hosting a live event where readers help with a plot or book in real time? Wow, what a great idea. I love it, but there are legal ramifications, okay? So anytime someone writes a book, we talked about copyright the last time, they are the automatic owner of that copyright as soon as they put pen to paper, that kind of thing. This would take an extreme amount of lawyering, I guess, drawing up contracts, how would the royalties work, that sort of thing. So I don't know if that's actually possible. I think it's a great idea. That would be so fun, and I just don't know how the logistics of that would work in terms of properly compensating people for what they've contributed. Now, we do things like anthologies, which is, for example, we wrote one about pets, and the name is escaping me right now. The name is escaping me. But anyways, we wrote one about pets, and a whole bunch of authors contributed. And instead of paying, royalties to every single person, what we did is we took all the proceeds from that book and we donated it to different wildlife centers. So, it's called For the Love of Animals. I just remembered. That was going to drive me crazy until I remembered it. So thankfully, it came into my brain. So For the Love of Animals, you can find that, and we donate 100% of the proceeds to different wildlife organizations. I think one of the ones that we worked with was Hobbitsea Wildlife, and we donated proceeds to them for care of wildlife and woodland animals. I think they had a porcupine and all different kinds of interesting things that people had saved that were, in traffic and on the road and all these things, right? So, yes, I love the idea, but I don't know if it's possible from a legal and logistical standpoint. Okay, next question. These questions are so great. I'm loving these. These are so fun. They're so creative. And who knew that you wanted to know about this stuff? But here we are. So, have you ever considered letting readers vote on elements of a book like cover design and alternate endings? Yes. So this is part of our marketing, actually, because we specialize in consumer neuroscience and neuromarketing. What I love to do, and I can think of somebody off the top of my head right now. For example, Tommy Frayne. So Thomas Frayne wrote The Bullseye Kid, and we came up with 4 different colors and different covers and different fonts and different placements of things, and we got him to put it up on Facebook, and people voted on which cover they liked the best. Okay, so that's how we kind of got that information. In marketing specifically, it's called A/B testing. So we'll put out a cover, 2 covers, and then we'll see which one performs better. And then you keep reducing that to figure out which cover you should go with. There's so much more to it than that, but that's a really good place to start. So even with your ads or copy or things like that, you can always do A/B testing, which allows you to kind of gather data from the people that are your audience and see what they prefer and maybe why they're drawn to it. But the really interesting thing about Tommy's cover is that there was one that I had specifically designed with neuromarketing techniques in mind. And we put that up, and that was the one that was picked. So thankfully, that was right. So that was just confirmation that we know what we're doing. This is how it's supposed to work. It does work. This is what the data tells us, and it's confirmed. So that's always nice to know. And today is Tommy's birthday. So happy birthday, Tommy. And we hope that you have the best birthday. It was Reagan's birthday. There are so many February birthdays. Our friend Alan, it was his birthday too. My mom's birthday is soon. So happy birthday to all these February babies, and may all of your wishes come true. So letting readers vote on different elements of books like cover design, alternate endings, I think is really valuable. Whether you're in marketing or not, because it allows you to kind of understand what they want, what resonates with them, and what your options are. So that's kind of like beta reading too. So you'll have people say, read your manuscript, and if the same people are telling you the same thing, so if there's a group of people in your beta reading group, 7 people, let's say, they're all saying that you should take out a certain point, or you should change a character, or you should do this. If their opinions are similar and similar enough, and there's enough people saying that, then you should definitely look into making those changes and doing that feedback, because obviously there's something there that people either really, really like or they really don't like. So I remember when I was writing Obsessed with Her, my thriller novel, and I had this one part in the book that every single one of my beta readers came back and said, listen, you have to take that out. That was horrible. People are not going to like that. I didn't like that part. It didn't resonate with me. I didn't connect with it. It was just downright mean and cruel and horrific. So I was like, okay, we'll take that out. But you have to do it in a sense where you're gathering the data. What are you doing with the data? You're not just, on every single whim saying, yeah, okay, because people don't like this, I'm going to change it. You have to write books for yourself and the books that you want to see on the shelf. I know that's so cliche, but it's true. But also, you have to take that constructive feedback and do something with it. So you can either file it under, you know what, I'm going to explore that at a later time, or you can say, you know what, that is something that I really should redo or take out or add or subtract, whatever it is, okay? So either you're doing something with it, period. So you're either taking it into consideration and taking a break from your manuscript and maybe revisiting that later, or you're making the changes, or you're using that data to create something else that you can test in the market. So cover feedback, plot themes, character arcs, all of that kind of stuff. You have to use the data. You have to use the data in order to refine either your messaging or your manuscript or your cover or your illustrations, whatever that is. But here's the thing too. Don't go looking for tons and tons and tons of opinions and, going back and forth and saying, okay, I'm going to do this and what do you think of this? I've changed it. And, prolonging the process. That's something that you don't want to do. You need to make decisions, okay? So there's a lot of people out there writing books, a lot of people who have started books that have never finished. Don't let that be you. Finish what you start. It is so worth it. Being an author, publisher, illustrator is one of the greatest jobs on the planet, in my opinion, because we have so much fun. There's so much creativity. There's so much mutual respect for each other's crafts. You get to have so many different opportunities to go different places. You can write from anywhere in the world if you want to sit on a beach. I see Christina is here. She travels more than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. And she collects her stories from around the world, and that helps her books as well in terms of creating new content and putting out different types of content like YouTube and all of these things that she's able to do. So TikTok I meant. And it's so fun because where else do you have something where you can be so creative, but you get to travel and use that information to further your craft and your career. So anyways, I just wanted to say that. I hope that everybody is having a great Thursday. Thank you so much for sending in your questions and for asking the publisher. So I hope everybody has a great day. It is almost Friday. It's almost the weekend. And make sure you check out some of the books that we love on our website, pandemoniumpublishing.com/shop. And you'll be able to see all of the different books, as well as maybe there's something in there for your Valentine. Maybe there's something in there that you want to get for yourself for Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, whatever you're celebrating. Celebrate the love of literacy first and foremost, and the love that you have for yourself. So happy Thursday. I will see you next week with Advice from a Publisher, where I answer all of your questions live with Lacey from Pandemonium Publishing House.